Regardless of the economic impact, there are basic principles of what it means to be humane that most Americans can readily agree upon. Concepts such as caring, compassion, and hope, especially when it comes to the safety and well-being of our nation's most precious and innocent resource, our children.
I spent almost 10 years in foster care, during which time I had 14 different foster homes. So my childhood was spent moving home to home. Many of my foster parents were terribly abusive, so not all of my circumstances were always positive. Now that I'm an adult, I have an opportunity to use my story to help the tens of thousands of children who are still in foster care today. And the work that American Humane Association is doing ensures that stories like mine don't happen.
Traditionally, when a family comes to the attention of Child Protective Services, an investigation occurs, which seeks to discover what did or didn't happen and identify a perpetrator and a victim. In serious cases, this is the most appropriate approach. But in cases in which families are vulnerable and need support, they are more likely to seek it if someone is on their side from the outset and not pointing fingers. That is the idea behind American Humane Association's Differential Response Initiative.
Most families, when they come get involved with children's services, they're scared. They're scared that they're going to take away their children. They're scared that their house is dirty. They're scared about the way that they're living. And I think what differential response does is it removes those barriers to practice, in that you're not identifying a family as a perpetrator. You're not identifying their children as victims of abuse or neglect. That makes a huge difference. And when you remove those barriers, you can really get to some of the core issues that our families are addressing.
Ohio calls it alternative response, and they step in. They see what needs to be done to help you as an individual, as a family. They didn't say, "Oh, you don't have a job, you're lazy, you're worthless." They didn't say that at all. They said, "Well, what can we do to help you?"
By the time I left there the first day, I really felt that they knew that I was there in their home to help them, not to judge them.
I tell you, if it wouldn't have been for her, we wouldn't have been able to come as far as we have today.
There's no way we'd be where we are today without the alternative response program. I'm not sure where we would be, but I know we wouldn't be this far.
Each year in the United States, there are millions of children who are reported abused and neglected, and hundreds of thousands caught up in the foster care system. American Humane Association's initiative, known as Family Group Decision Making, brings together a child's wider family group, who, in partnership with the child welfare professionals, lead decision-making about how to best care for and protect their children. American Humane Association believes that everyone should become more aware of and involved in helping protect children and support families to prevent abuse and neglect before it occurs. Their prevention initiative, the Front Porch Project, is a national research-supported, community-based initiative built upon the belief that all people who are concerned about the safety and well-being of children in their communities need to be encouraged and taught to make a difference.
When I step back and think about our programs at American Humane Association, what I'm so proud of is the Front Porch Project, where we bring families out on the front porch. We teach families about the resources that are available in their local community that can help them be strengthened, to give them the resources they need to protect their kids. At the end of the day, we have a crisis. We need to make sure that we're coming at this in a very thoughtful and deliberate manner. And with our programs at American Humane Association, we provide resources every day to help protect America's kids.
Today, too many of America's children, both inside and outside the child welfare system, are growing up without a father in their lives. At least 65% of children placed into the child welfare system were not living with their birth fathers at the time of placement. And even after placement, their fathers and paternal relatives are not involved in planning their cases. These fathers and paternal relatives can be a great untapped resource for children. That's why American Humane Association's Fatherhood Initiative is dedicated to supporting children in regaining important and lasting connections with their fathers and paternal relatives, and to help fathers understand and carry out their role as parents.
In many cases, particularly when we're talking about the need to place a child, there may be resources that are available to a child through their fathers, grandparents, other relatives, who might be a more appropriate resource than a foster care provider who's unrelated. The other piece of that, of course, is how to bring fathers into the process itself so that they can be a resource directly for their child when that's appropriate. And that's an aspect of child welfare that up until recently has largely been ignored.
All children deserve an equal opportunity to experience healthy growth and development. When child abuse and neglect interferes with that opportunity, we put our future at risk. The American Humane Association believes that everyone should become more aware of and involved in helping protect children and support families to prevent abuse and neglect before it occurs.
What America's kids need now, quite frankly, are strong families and strong communities. And with American Humane Association, we're there to help.
To learn more or support the children's programs of the American Humane Association, visit them online at www.americanhumane.org or call 1-866-242-1877.